Welcome back to Movies TV Mad. Of course, you can follow me on Twitter at Movies TV Mad. And welcome to Thursday's edition of the MUFC Daily. And it's match day, everyone. And I'm very, very excited. So Ralf Rangnick kind of went around Old Trafford to kind of look around and see what he likes and what he doesn't like. I swear he must have called for the bulldozers to come in 5 minutes after he got there. He was literally inspecting Old Trafford. So we have a huge game, but we still have Michael Carrick in charge. And his very, very ultra-brief press conference waved a lot of red flags in my mind and eyes. I was shocked by what he said. His blatant disregard for Ronaldo, saying dropping Ronaldo isn't controversial, isn't a big deal. And he spoke glowingly about Fred. And that's interesting that, you know, he's trying to push out there that a passion merchant is a great player. Now, don't get me wrong. I love Fred. And I think he's a much better player than, you know, he's been under the Carrick Ollie Ball era. But we are still dealing with Ollie Ball. Make no mistake. And this is where we are now. So he sits there talking about, you know, how it's perfectly not a big deal to drop Ronaldo. Why don't you tell Ronaldo that as he stormed down the tunnel at the end of the game, Michael? But he at one moment says it's not a big deal to drop one of the greatest players, if not the greatest player of all time, and then he's saying Fred is great, people underestimate Fred, he's been so good, he played with an injury, blah, 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 blah. Brilliant, happy for Fred. But this is the problem with Manchester United under this coaching team. Of course, all they're interested in is passion merchants, because all they care about is defending and getting a goal on the break. This is where we are now. Did you ever think when we were celebrating the treble that we would be here now? No, you didn't. And that we would need a fixer to come into the club and turn us around. Yeah, I mean, that press conference was astounding. He was asked if he's spoken to Ralf Rangnick yet. No. He was asked if he's excited to learn from Rangnick. His reply was interesting. He goes, he's got a lot of responsibility right now. He's always willing to learn. But he doesn't talk about Ralf directly, like, yeah, he's a great man. He's one of the pioneers of the game. There's no compliments. To me, it sounds like that Carrick has already been given his P45. It wouldn't surprise me that if after the game, he'll be moving on very, very quickly. We've heard a lot of reports from lots of different journalists. And as usual with Manchester United journalism, everyone has a different take. And I'm not talking about opinions, I'm talking about news. So some say the coaches will remain, some say they will go. But it is very weird how he responded to the questions about Rangnick. So I tell you what, the question tonight is, who's doing the tactics? Is it Ralf Rangnick? Because that could be another reason why the press conference was so short. Mick, get your bloody words out. Short, that's why the presser was so short. So it could be that, because Ralph's going to be there. Now, don't forget, Ralph's visa isn't official yet, but he was inspecting the stadium and he'll be in one of the directors' boxes tonight as well. Which pretty much means the visa is nearly there, it's nearly official. I expect this visa to be announced either today or tomorrow. So I don't think that Ralf did the tactics the other day. I don't think it was Ralph's decision to drop Ronaldo. That's just my opinion and the way we played. I mean, the problem is Ralf can give instructions, but he can't talk or train the players. That's the problem. So he still can't train the players, but he can tell Carrick what he wants him to do. So it wouldn't surprise me if the tactics are Ralf Rangnick's tactics tonight. It wouldn't surprise me if we were a lot more attacking tonight. Well, the proof of the eating is in the pudding, isn't it? If we play kind of the continuation of Ollie Ball, let's sit there being scared and then just hit them on the break, or we're playing like big boys like we used to under Sir Alex, and we actually try attacking the team and take the play. I'm really not getting my words out today, am I? If we're dictating the play and playing great, vibrant attacking football, then we know that Ralph's had a hand in how we're playing. So I am excited tonight. listen, this game could go anyway. Let's talk about Arsenal. Arsenal's manager is one of those managers, sometimes he's hated by their fans, sometimes he's loved. Basically, football is a fickle business. I can be fickle, you can be fickle. It is a results business at the end of the day. And that's quite right too. Now, I think if you look at the Arsenal manager's job that he's done since he's been there, I think it's been a very solid job behind the scenes. And they're starting to look like a really, really good team. So I think they're dangerous. Now, they don't have the greatest of away records, but here's the thing. We don't have the greatest of home records. And that's a problem as well, of course. So I think Arsenal are going to come tonight, give us a game. But I think if we cannot play counter-attacking football against Arsenal, because that's how they're going to play. And the crowds at Old Trafford is expecting a performance. And don't forget, our last two Old Trafford performances and results have been embarrassing. We were whacked 5-0 against Liverpool, and we had the hugest 2-0 thrashing of all time by Pep Guardiola's Manchester City. Now, normally I would say, do you know what? This is Klopp and Pep. We're not there. Manchester United are not there. And I mean, shocking for some of you to hear this, but maybe normally I would say, okay, that's fair enough. But if we played really well and gave everything against Liverpool and City, I would have said, fair enough, we lost. The better manager, better players and better team won. But we didn't give everything. We played like we didn't have a heartbeat, because that's how Ollie ball is played. You sit, you let them have the ball, you get the ball off of them and hit them on the break while they're down the other side. But these teams are too smart for that anyway. So people worked out Ollie ball a long time ago. That's part of the problem that Ollie had from the beginning of this season. So if Carrick is going to play Ollie ball, I think Arsenal may win this game. But if we play Wreck-It Ralph ball, right? Let's call him King Ralph. Let's be original. If we play King Ralph ball, I think we've got a good chance of winning this game 2 or 3-0. My personal hunch is that we will actually play the way Ralph wants us to play tonight. And don't worry about the visa. Either today, either tomorrow. Very confident. So as I've got this hunch that Ralph is picking the team and the players who play and the tactics, I'm going to go for a 3-0 victory. Yes, even a clean sheet for Manchester United. So will Ronaldo play in a team, picked by Ralph Rangnick? That's the $100 million question. It's a difficult one, because I don't know Ralph that well. I mean, he's made some comments in the past that are interesting. I really don't know because this would be a really sad end to the story for Cristiano Ronaldo if he's dropped all the time and he's only coming on as a sub, because he came here to be the star. And Ralph Rangnick doesn't deal with stars. Ralph Rangnick wants players to play, wants them to be team players. Now, don't get me wrong, Cristiano is one of the most, team-spirited players. He's brilliant. But I think that Ralph would have a big problem with the Glazers and Ed and John Murta if he started dropping him consistently, because he's there to sell shirts and he needs to play. The other question we need to ask, though, by playing Ronaldo, does it take away the variety we can play with? That's an interesting one, because none of this is about Cristiano himself. Cristiano has been holding us on his shoulders, since he came into the club. The point isn't Ronaldo's ability to score goals and be a great player. He's doing that. But by having him playing, does it stop us being more adventurous? And these are the things we have to look at. So Ralph is going to look at these things. So I think tonight, whether or not Ronaldo plays will tell us a lot, and will tell Ronaldo a lot about his future and if he's got one. Because if he keeps on being dropped till January, Ronaldo will go in January. The problem Cristiano has got, his wages are so high. Who's going to take him? It's difficult. I mean, City could try and take him. I mean, it's interesting. Did City really ever want him? Did City ever really need him? It's a bit of a weird situation, isn't it, that? Was that ever real, or was that just to tempt us into buying him? He's so expensive, and who is going to buy a player for that age and pay those wages? That's the problem. So there's a bit of a quandary for Cristiano Ronaldo. I'm proud to have him at the club. I want him playing. He'll score goals. He'll do the business. But we're looking at this from a coach's point of view. So as I say, if he plays tonight, then we know what his future is. If he doesn't play tonight, there is a big problem for Cristiano Ronaldo at Manchester United. And with his wages being so high, who in the hell in world football is even going to take him? This has been the Manchester United Daily, the MUFC Daily. I admit your host with the most, just ask your girlfriend. Oh my God, my voice is going. What's going on here? I'm terribly sorry. Right, I'm Mick, your host with the most, just ask your girlfriends and your wives. Like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss this perfection, and I'll see you again tomorrow with even more MUFC Daily. Until then, goodbye. And hopefully, United can bang a few goals against Arsenal, then the King Ralph era really does start. See you again tomorrow.